Alright guys, welcome to the channel. I'm stoked to share with you all. I picked up the OPXY. I just want to share with everyone why I picked it up. In this video specifically, I want to talk about its hardware. The big criticism of this thing, the controversy, was it is expensive. When it first released, me being a big fan of the OPZ, was very excited to see it come out. I looked at Teenage Engineering's website, saw the price, and moved on. Like a lot of people, $2,300 is very steep for, I don't know, a portable instrument, in my opinion. And you know, I had an OPZ. I was a big fan of its brain. I wasn't posting videos back then, but I was playing with that sequencer all the time. I loved the sound it produced. I loved the punch-in effects, everything, but my biggest criticism was the build. It was a light plastic. The encoders kind of fell out. It felt like a TV remote more than an instrument, which was frustrating because the brain was so good. The sequencer was awesome. It was something I'd never experienced before, even with Electron stuff. These, if you look at the OPXY has them, these punch-in effects, excuse me, are just a fun feature that I fell in love with. But like I said, the build was not all that. At the time, I lived a few miles from Venice Beach. I could see the ocean from my balcony, and the plastic began to bend. I don't know if it was the sea air or just the way it was. So I moved on from Teenage Engineering, but I saw this thing come up, and I'll admit it, I got it on sale. Perfect Circuit had a sale, and I picked it up. And I'm very impressed. The build of this thing is sturdy. You know, it is heavy. It feels, I would compare it to an iPad maybe, but heavier. The aluminum, it's not plastic. It's not cheap plastic. This is treated aluminum, the casing. And I would argue that these buttons, the keyboard, all of this feels sturdier than a lot of Octatrack keys. You know, I would consider them maybe a competitor, even though this thing does a lot of different things than a Digitact or even an Octatrack. I would say this thing is way more portable. Obviously, it has the aluminum build. It has a battery, lasts like 16 hours. You can recharge it. The encoders, they have a click to them. These knobs. These feel not as quality in my opinion. Definitely a lighter plastic than the rest of the build. It has this cool little speaker. This thing, it sounds pretty good. It's fun. I wouldn't be getting heavy work through it, but it's fun. And like, that's the point of a lot of Teenage Engineering equipment, is it's not like I'm gonna go in and cut a record in a day type of equipment. It's like fun, play with this, return to play type equipment, you know. And I compose full time. I have for a while, and being a full-time musician, sometimes you have to find ways to keep it fun and keep the play alive, and that's what I love about these builds. You know, this build, it's much better than the OPZ. Strong aluminum, not cheap plastic. You've got your switch here, on and off switch. It kind of juts out. Some people criticize that, they don't love it, but I have no problem with it. You have your inputs here. you've got audio output, MIDI sync, MIDI input, audio in. USB-C, this is where it says an interface, and a MIDI controller for Ableton. The audio input's a really cool and interesting take. This thing goes much deeper than a OPZ. I'm not going to get into all of its features in this video. I'm just kind of reviewing the hardware. But being able to run audio through this, definitely a cool function. You know, you have these Velcro things here if you want to attach it to your desk or wherever you keep it to avoid dropping it. I will say I wouldn't want to drop this thing. The LCD screen, beautiful, really cool, really fun to play with and look at, but I wouldn't want to drop it because I don't know if it would survive dropping it on anything other than some thick carpet. But if you can see, I mean, just beautiful graphics. I mean, that's sort of Teenage Engineering is known for that. And I wanted the OP1 like 10 years ago when I think it came out 15 years ago, but I was really itching for one 10 years ago. It was out of budget for me. So if you're in the comments like, too much money, no way, would never do it, I get it. I was there. But now I'm kind of in a place in my life where I can afford to buy some luxury studio equipment. I would consider this luxury studio equipment for sure. You don't need this to make music, but like I said, I'm a full-time composer, and sometimes I gotta look for places other than my DAW to keep things fresh, because I stare at Ableton all day, you know, and some limitations, something I could take out of the studio was exactly what I was looking for. I've only made one beat on it, 1.5. Pretty cool. You know, I have a lot to learn with it still, but overall I would say for the price point, the build is nice. This is not a cheap plastic toy. It feels like a real instrument. And I'm gonna be making videos that go over like all of its modules, its sound engines, the sequencer, some of the other stuff it offers. I just wanted to touch on the build and play you guys some of the music I've been making with it. But hope you all liked it. Hope this helped you make a decision on whether you want to buy this thing or not. And like and subscribe. I'm John Doe. Lots more to come. Thanks so much.